Hey girl, hey, it's your internet cousin Markeyla. I got my AirPod in for no reason. So today's topic, how to take an L. We're gonna talk about how to take a godly L, okay? How can you lose? I'm laughing because the story is really funny that I have to tell, but I felt compelled to not belittle what I experienced, but more importantly to share it with you guys. And I feel like I'm rambling, so let's get started. So first things first, I think Christian women specifically, I am specifically talking to Christian women. We've got to do a much better job of graciously doing everything. I think that there are so many ways that Christian women just miss the mark when it comes down to being gracious with ourselves, with our loved ones, with our friends. And so let me just start by saying, give grace to yourself, to your sisters, to your loved ones. We just got to do a better job of being gracious. Now, with that said, being gracious does not mean that you never, ever lose. I think that I try to be gracious, but I'm also definitely an explosive person. So what'll happen is I will think I'm extending grace, but really there's just this ticking time bomb that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that we have to do a much better job of just being honest. And by we, I'm saying myself. When you are maligned by a person or mistreated, you got to do a better job of just saying, hey, I didn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. This sucks. But on the other side of that, no matter how gracious you are, sometimes you just got to take an L. And I want to talk about how to lose with purpose today, because I think that as we'll go through all of my kind of like stories and videos, as I'll share my life with you guys, in the future, you'll see that I really have had to master losing. Entrepreneurs, we have to master losing. You gotta master the L, because you're gonna catch L's. You're gonna be told no. You're gonna have seasons where you'll have less profit than you do loss. You'll have seasons where you have more profit than you do loss, and you're still taking L's because you're trying to juggle that success. You're trying to manage that success. And in the last year of my life, as I floated through this transition of getting a divorce, the transition of kind of losing friends that were connected to my married version, the version of me that was married, I've had to learn that there are some L's that are going to be associated with my friendships, with relationships. And I've had to learn how to hear the murmurs, hear the rumors, hear the things that were said, and not take those things personally. So how do you do that? How do you take the L? How do you not take offense? Seeing as I'm still knee-deep in this, I am very much so presently today taking L. The first way that you have to take an L is by naming it. What are you really losing? So one of the situations that I have had to kind of just take on the chin, friends of mine and we were going to start a YouTube page. We started filming, it's like a reality TV show. We started filming it while I was still in my home with my husband before we separated. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work. The YouTube didn't work for me and those women. It didn't work for me and my soon-to-be ex-husband. At the time, we were still in our home, and I was making it very clear that I was getting a divorce. I was separating myself in every way that you can, even before he physically left my home. And it bothered him that I was making steps to have a life after our marriage. And so that translated in this reality TV show that we tried to film, and it didn't go well. And one of the women that were on the show asked me to record an argument with my soon-to-be ex-husband. And I just refused to do it because it was like, I'm not going to make a bad situation worse just because it might lead to people wanting to watch this. I'm good on that. And so I took the L. I took the L on the project. I took the L when it came down to just the way that whole circumstance made my relationship with my soon-to-be ex-husband while he was still in our home. It made it very tense for him to be around me because I was already moving on to my next thing, right? I was already on to the next stage, but he wasn't ready for that. And it caused a lot of tension. And I had to take the L of, this idea is great, but it's not worth the hell it brings. So you have to name what you're losing. And originally it was like, well, I'm losing this great opportunity because the first episode did really well. People responded well to it. And then in hindsight, I had to learn what I named really wasn't the truth. What is it that you really feel like you're missing out on? Is it that you're missing out on an opportunity, or is it that you're missing an opportunity to be seen? When you properly name what it is that you're losing, the thing that you're taking an L on, it helps you do a lot better with properly placing where things should be. Fast forward from taking that L a year and a half ago, all of the women that were a part of this cast got together, had a conversation about this thing. And because I took the L and wouldn't be involved in it because of the whole situation, I wasn't involved in the conversation. And so here we are, dang near 2 years later, and I'm still taking an L because of this whole situation. And initially it broke my heart, it bothered me, but I had to ask myself, well, again, what is it that you feel like you're losing? I had to name it again. What is it that you feel like you're losing? And the fear of missing out, the fear that I was just gonna, again, miss this chance to be with these women, to be a part of this thing, made me realize that a lot of the times when we're taking L's, it's because we're longing to belong places that we don't belong. So often our losses are not really losses. They are moves of God to keep us planted or to put us in places where we are supposed to bloom. And so not only do you have to name the loss, the thing that you're taking the L in, but you also have to be willing and vulnerable enough to accept that you may not belong wherever it is you're taking the L, and there may be something blessed and beautiful for you to gain or to pour out right where you are. The last and final way that you learn to take an L with purpose, or, master your L, is that you have to have an unwavering belief in your ability to win. Oh my God. If you are in seasons like the one I'm in and you're transitioning, or even if you're not in a season of transition, if you're in the process of working towards something, which we all are, you cannot let life, you can't let circumstance, you can't let friendships, you can't let your emotions, you can't let nothing make you doubt in your ability to go to the next place. And something that, this whole L thing has taught me, the loss of my marriage, all the L's that I've taken in congruence with it, I have learned to be so deeply in belief of what God's going to do in me that it's like, hey, every door that's shut, every door that's open, every window that's cracked, okay? Because I believe that even when the wind blows, baby, the wind is blowing in the direction of my better and my greatest, that God is setting up everything to be for my good. I believe that in my soul. I believe it in my gut. I believe it in my booty. Is there? My booty out. such a goof. I really do. And you have to have it knee deep in your soul that there's nothing that's going to keep you from elevating and going to the place where God ordained for you. And if you allow yourself to name the loss, to really put it where it's supposed to be, if you understand that you may not belong in the place where your loss is, that you probably belong right in the place where God has already carved out for you. And if you let yourself believe in your ability to move forward, to be who God called you to be, then those three things will help you master any loss, help you master anything that you experience that may not be how you wanted things to go. Listen, I'm trying to make these videos less than 15 minutes, so I'm done, I promise. But I just want you to know that I love you, God loves you, and the people that don't love you are none of your business. Okay, girl? Be strong, be confident, and I'll see you later.